Okay, starting again. When you want to close anything, just X out of it. Now I'm going to get out of implant mode by undoing that. Now you're back to where you were. I think I made things too dark. There, we'll brighten things back up. You can play games with the contrast. There's so many icons on here. This one here gets rid of the lines. Let's say you want to take a photo with your iPhone of just x-rays. You can click on and off of the lines. And if you want to take a measurement, you click on the little ruler, double click on that, see there it goes blue, and you can measure the length of an implant. See this target? Let's say I want to see how long the implant is. So I'll grab it and I'll drag it. Okay, that implant is about 5 millimeters long. I drug it from the top to the bottom. My finger is still on the button. I let it go. Now I got a line there. Say you want to see the distance from the implant to the nerve. Let's do another line. Drag it. All right, so I'm about 9 millimeters from the inferior alveolar nerve to the bottom of the implant. Okay, so I got room to play, but at the same time, I am only 4 millimeters from perforating through the concavity of the lower jaw. So that's not good. You don't want your implant to go into the floor of their mouth, especially when you have like a lingual nerve here. You don't want to damage that, or I'm sorry, lingual vein, and then that'll blow up on you. You want to stay away from the lingual vein hiding in the soft tissue here about this point. That's why you don't want to reflect the flap lingually. You could reflect buccally, but not lingually. Okay, so let's talk about the implants themselves. Implants are stronger than you think. The new titanium alloys make the implants so much stronger than they were even 15 years ago. If you look in the older books, you'll see pictures of broken implants. Implants really don't break anymore. Yeah, they just don't. They're strong. The screws are strong. The screws are made of titanium now. They're not made of gold anymore. So a lot of these breakage issues are just not a problem, which means you can go skinny on these implants. You could even go shorter on these. As long as you have a wider implant, you can go short. This is a short implant, but it's going to work because I've got enough. I make up for the surface area by the width. If you have a thin implant, you probably want to go a little longer, just for stability. Unless you've got really hard bone. If you've got type 1 bone, you can have a short, thin implant, and it's going to hold that implant in there. It's going to be strong. But if you're getting into type 2, type 3 bone, you better start finding extra surface area one way or another, either by a fatter implant or a longer implant. Okay, that way it doesn't, rattle itself out of there with all the torque placed on by the restoration. Okay, so there's like 3 or 4 different things you have to keep in mind: bone density, surface area of the implant, crown to root ratio, and the torque and pressure of the restoration itself, and the quality of the implant. But we use quality implants. OsteoReady's good implant. 3i. We're not using cheap implants, so implant quality is not an issue. Another thing I'm going to say, I recommend a drill speed of 750 RPMs. Some of the manufacturers tell you to use 1200 RPMs. I've had far fewer failures since I reduced my drill speed per the recommendation of OsteoReady. This was about a year ago. They changed their instructions, and since then everything has improved dramatically. Okay, getting out of this, let's talk about vital structures. Here is the mental foramen. You don't want your implant to go into the mental foramen, because then they will be numb in the front part of their chin. That's not good. So don't pull too hard when you're reflecting the flap tissue. Don't yank too hard, because the nerve comes with it. And what else about the mental foramen? You want to, when you're placing implants, probably try to stay about 6 millimeters away from any kind of nerve, whether it's inferior alveolar or this foramen, just to be safe in case you accidentally slip a little and you go a little too far. You got a little bit of room, you know, for error, okay? Especially when you're first learning and you're trying to figure out how dense the bone is and how sharp the drills are and everything like that. You'll get a feel. Okay, so reducing that. Here's your inferior alveolar nerve running here. I'm going to draw a picture. Now, I'm going to right click this button. Boom. I'll show you how to draw a nerve. See where it says draw nerve? Go up to here. Or, okay, go ahead and close that.